This week's Segue Magic topic is about pop culture or media that we tortured our parents with. I have two sisters. I am the middle child. Pause for dramatic effect. Something about me that is still true to this day is that while I have big overarching interest, I am a very obsessive media consumer. I always joke that the reason that I have first books of series or one season of a show finished but not the rest is because I have commitment issues. I think the real thing about me is that I am an obsessive consumer. I'm not humble bragging about this. I think that is a terrible trait to have. Once I get something in my sight, I just take it all in as much as I can and then I move on. I feel like that perfectly characterizes how we tortured our parents when we were younger, because we would just focus on one thing and play it the heck out. And our poor parents, poor parents. Our dad would take us to rent movies at this little home video, like a little mom and pop shop of a video store. And I remember he would take us and it was the video store and next to it was the Pussycat Theater, and we would always wonder, what the hell, why don't we just go catch a movie in the theater? And it never, well, we were young and innocent, it never connected. And we would ask our dad, hey, what's in there? And he'd just like shuffle us along like, don't worry about it. But it's just in the video store. I remember this video store so vividly, like the sections, and at the counter they always had the weirdest candy. Like they had lollipops with insects inside of them. I don't know why that was a thing, but we would stare at these like cricket lollipops while we were checking out and getting our videos. Our video rotations, like we would get the same 3 or 4 movies all the time. Felix the Cat. I remember one time my dad came home and he said, oh, I'll take the movie back and I'll bring you guys something else. And so he brought something else and he's like, oh look, it's a new Felix the Cat movie. And we're like, yay, a new Felix the Cat movie. And we put it in the same exact Felix the Cat movie. And he was like, oh crap. I was like, nope, we're keeping it for 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks. The Little Mermaid, we used to park ourselves in front of the Little Mermaid on the TV, but we also had Little Mermaid t-shirts. So you put on the Little Mermaid t-shirts, sit in our little plastic chairs all lined up in front of the Little Mermaid movie. I have 3 nieces now, and I actually took care of a couple of them for a little while they were very young, and I will tell you that the hardest part about that is anytime I had to watch any sort of children's programming is really tedious if you are not a child. So thinking about that and how much I hate like Dora, for instance, I feel really bad for my parents that they had to watch Barney. My parents were immigrants. They came to this country in their teens. They were raised in the Dominican Republic. So that, on top of the fact that religion, faith is very big in my family, it created this counterculture. Like we were not very up on what was popular anytime while we were growing up at all. The music that was primarily played in my house was either Christian music on the part of my mother or like bachata, merengue on the part of my father. So I grew up listening to like Christian contemporary music until I discovered that there was such thing as Christian rock music, and it just changed my world, friends. From that point on, like, I discovered Screamo, and I would scare the crap out of my parents. I think it really disturbed something in them, and they would always tell me, do you have to play that music? Yes, friends. Yes, I did. I mean, I feel like for the most part that wasn't terrible. I guess it really depends on your definition of how terrible Felix the Cat movie is. Bad. So that's it for me. You will see Kirsty's face on Wednesday, Sweeney's face on Friday, and you will see my face soon. Thanks for tuning in. Our mom worked nights for a little while, so our dad was the one who would watch us. Sorry, I'm just having all these kind of flashbacks right now.
Wonderful, wonderful cat. You'll laugh so much your sides will ache, your heart will go pit-a-pat.